Greenwood and all that, but it's,
Oh, that public attendance, you don't want me signing that one.
oh my God. So he's been
You can sign that one. Mm-hmm.
almost 2 months. Nursing home rehabs, and they still can't get him walking. They say he's gonna walk because he's got the use and some feeling in his leg, but at this point, no. Oh, crap.
Wow, all right.
They can't even. A few days ago, he was proud because they set him up in bed and he balanced himself for about
Apparently.
30 or 45 seconds or something. That's how
Well, I
he
have one
is.
of Jason Mott ones in there.
Hello.
I was visiting your establishment today.
Oh, yeah?
And I was thinking, you know what, if he needs somebody to fill in sometime, as long as you give me some unlimited.
Okay,
Vanilla
on the
bean.
clock, it is 6 o'clock. We're gonna start the
No,
meeting
seriously, I'll come in.
of the Board of Zoning Appeals of Scott County. We have 2 matters in front of us tonight. Case number V-04-24, Kim Applegate. The way we do this, we get you to present what you're asking. You can do it right there. You can come up here, what you're asking for the board. I have to have a public intervention. I'll ask for anyone that wants to speak for it or against it. If anybody wants to do that, I don't think you will do, but if you do, direct the questions at the board, not at the applicant. And then we'll come back and ask questions if we need any clarity of the applicant. At that point in time, we can go ahead and take a vote of what's going on. That's how it works. So if you'll come up. I take it you're wanting to build a garage or some kind of structure?
I do, yes, yep, it's a garage, and, you know, of course, normally it would need to have an offset onto the side of the property at 30 feet. Mine, unfortunately, due to the space constraints, is gonna be 15.
Okay.
To the south of my house and to the rear of my house, I have a septic tank and lateral lines, so
Can
that's
you-
the reason of needing to do this where it is.
On this paper here.
Yep.
Can you draw in for us approximately where the building's gonna be?
Yeah.
And show me where your septic field is
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Sure.
And is the septic and what have you, the reason you can't go 30 feet, or what is the reason?
No, that would not be the reason. That's just, one asked me, well, why can't you put it on the other side of the house or in the backyard? And I can't do that. So this is really the only spot that I can try to fit it in,
Okay.
instead of being in front of the house, so, yeah. Here would be, this is where the building would be built, there at the end of that little turnaround. And then this is the septic tank, distribution box, and lateral lines.
And it lines up with the existing driveway so that you wouldn't have to add much driveway, is that?
Yeah, no driveway is planned to be added.
And that's where you don't want to put it on the other side of the house or your backyard, 'cause you have
Yes.
a driveway.
Here's the septic field and all
Yeah,
that.
Gotcha.
yeah, and a water line in front there as well, so it's about the only spot I can do it in.
Okay, at this point, I'm gonna open up the meeting to the public. If anyone wants to speak for or against this project, now's the time. I see no one that wants to do that. So now we go to, and we're, my opinion, this would not block a view or anything with these people.
And you mentioned, where do you say water line?
This is his septic field here.
Yeah.
Septic tank, and then the field's here.
All right, and the reason this couldn't be used, what's the reason why the front area nearest the road couldn't be used for any
Yeah,
reason?
so water line is right here.
And
down
that's
the front of
alongside the
house.
the
Yep, to the
driveway.
meter, yes, yep. Kinda stuck with
Where's
where I
the side
decided.
property, where is it? So this is the house here. Right, so that's fine. sometimes I have a problem if they wanna do it, it cuts off their view of the road. Right. Or, but that's back in, out of their view to me too.
They're not here to speak for themselves. I assume this is the person that
Had an issue with it?
had an issue with it.
No one's had any issues with this. We've sent out, letters to everyone.
I think we got one.
Yeah, we
that
have
was-
one by the name of Riser who was against your project.
What was the last name?
Riser?
I don't know that last name.
No, okay, maybe I
I
was-
don't believe that they're a neighbor.
maybe I.
Who is this
I-
person? Who owns this property here?
That would be, oh goodness, that's my neighbor, and, his name's, I could pull up, the Scott County gist, probably would be the quickest way I could tell you.
3968 South Lake Road. That would be Riser.
Yes, William and Susan Ricer. Do not consent to request described.
Oh, that last name would be the neighbor to the south, but actually, that's interesting, cause he's verbally told me he has no issue with that whatsoever.
Right here.
So it could be
Some folks don't like confrontation.
yeah, that's interesting.
This is Riser.
Yes, it does, yeah.
In my opinion, this
There's
is
nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I would say that's probably an error on filling out the paper, but that's how the paper got filled out, because I talk to him quite frequently, so.
I think this is the most, whoever owns this, it affects the most, not to the point that I think it causes them a problem. Sometimes, we do this a lot, and sometimes if you're wanting to build this up here that block their view or something like that, might be a little more sticky if they had it, if they had a problem with it. At this point, I'm going to, open the floor up to make a motion to either approve with conditions, or deny.
I'll make a motion to approve if we need conditions. I don't
I'll
think,
second that.
I can't think of any conditions.
We have a motion to approve. At this point, we have to go through some silly little questionnaires, is that correct? Do we have to do that on that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because we'll,
Let me get to those. Okay,
so they kind of approved it, but then I kind of have to make sure we go through this and then
Sure.
it meets the requirements of approval.
Okay.
And then we will make a formal
Yes.
motion to approve. Okay.
Do you
The
want me
first
to-
one, this approval, and these are written in the negative, so a yes vote means it's not injurious. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, general welfare of the community. Mr. Ronow,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts,
Yeah.
and I say yes also. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not affect in any substantially adverse manner. Mr. Ronow,
Yes.
Mr. Roberts?
Yes, sir.
And I vote yes. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Mr. Ronow?
The way that's worded, I'm gonna say it's not gonna, it won't.
The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in a practical difficulties in the use of his property.
I'm gonna say it's not gonna. I'd say no, but is that wrong? Is it supposed to be
It's
in
the
the
way
name?
Right.
it's worded.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a problem there.
If we strictly enforced the zoning
Yeah,
ordinance, he would
Okay.
not be able to use his property in the way he's
Okay, yes,
requested.
yeah.
It's very written crazy.
That was really crazy, yes.
Yes from Mr. Roberts, and yes from me. Oh, by the way, I gotta go back and say, A, did meet the standard, B, did
Yeah.
meet the standard, and C, did meet the standard. And that is all of that. At this point in time, we will take a vote to approve or deny this motion? I will vote yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It passed with 3 yeses. And that paper is here somewhere. And this is approved as presented. So I'm gonna make a mark through Gary's name and put my name there, sign it, right?
Yes. Yes, we know, that Mr. Green is absent today. Yes.
9, the vice president, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, your motion is approved.
Thank you.
And Missy will get you the building permit
Yeah,
or what have you.
then, yeah.
Sounds good.
We'll give you this is the signed documents, there may be somewhere else in there I have to sign, I'm sure, but if there is, let me know. Okay, we're moving on,
Thank you guys for your time.
good luck. Case number V-05-24. Jim, did you make the application?
That's how she fixed it. Tim's actually doing it. I made the application, and he'll be in there.
Okay. I'm gonna state quickly what you're doing and then we'll move on to the process. And at this point, I have to make it known that I am a close neighbor to this project.
I was wondering, I was like,
Real close.
Real close. If they would like me to abstain from voting, I will put that option out there. If not, I will go ahead and vote.
You need to vote, we're gonna have 3.
Okay. We're moving on. Okay. You wanna lay out to the board what you're doing?
Sure. We are building in 2 phases. Phase 1, we're building a 3-car garage, approximately 1,000 square feet, with approximately 640 square feet apartment above it. And then within the next 4 years, in approximately 4 years, the plan is to build in addition the physical home, which will be approximately 2,900 square feet. So the total amount will be roughly 3,500 square feet upon completion in roughly 4 years.
Okay. And the reason you're wanting to do this, I think I stated your children are still in school and,
I've got a daughter that's a freshman in high school, so this gives us an opportunity to have a kind of a getaway place. When we're, yeah, correct. So when we're visiting, we can just stay here, stay the night, stay the weekend, whatever the case may be.
okay. Here's what I need to ask you a question. If we approve this, what are we approving it for? A variance on the square footage? And then when the house does get built, before he can have a certificate of occupancy,
yeah, right.
does he have to come back and get that changed?
I believe that he would, just because, yeah, one, it's not on here, to me, it just says it's just on the square footage. But,
Okay.
yeah, he would come back and get the variance if
Sure.
you still wanna use that as a living quarters.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
so then, what that means, at that point in time, when you do build the house, and it's complete, and you want a certificate of occupancy there, that other structure is not a permanent living apparatus for anyone else.
Correct.
If you ever sell the property or anything like that, you can't sell it as a house with an apartment, and you can't rent that out as such.
Well, this is gonna be attached.
Huh?
It's gonna be completely attached.
Right.
So we just.
Oh, it'll be attached.
Yes.
Oh, I
When-
got you.
Supposed to be a house.
Right.
When this,
Oh, I got you, so you just wanted to start with this,
well,
okay,
that was the whole thought. I mean, you're gonna start with this stage 1 right here, which is
Yeah.
paperwork. And then this right here gets attached, and not to say, when we talked about this earlier, he was gonna be in that 950 or close to 900 square feet, 950, which we wouldn't even need a variance.
Right.
But for the attachment, by his contractor, it was decided you need to cut this back to
I
the
gotcha.
640 on top to make it line up.
And I don't remember, we still
so
need
let's
that
pass
though,
it
cause
on.
that'll
It'll be
be,
640 square foot that's attached to the house, it has to be above.
That'll be
ground.
above.
there's gonna be a garage with just
Garage
living
with a-
quarters right now,
Above it, yes.
right above it. I don't
So you'll be
know,
able to occupy it
Correct.
now, down the road.
Then when you
Not to
built the
say
house.
your daughter comes home from college with a friend,
Sure.
they can stay there, but nobody can make that their permanent address, they
Right,
can't.
and it's still gonna
Yeah.
be a house, it's not
Right.
one house.
It's still gonna be one house.
Right.
Does it become like
Right.
basically one of the bedrooms essentially, or is it like
It
a
will
a
be.
teen room
will
or
be at the
something
time,
like
or
that?
change it, yeah.
It could be a den,
But-
could be a,
But I
Yeah.
think at that point in
pool
time,
table
I
for
think
me.
you'll have to come back
Okay.
and ask that the other house then becomes the permanent address, is that right?
it'll still be one
Yes,
address.
take it, or just that he would just know that, I don't know if we need to approve it with a condition that once the house is built. Well, no, that's a variance, never mind, I don't know.
I think we just go with the variance, and then when he.
Variance on just the, yeah,
That he can,
That's
that
what
we
we're
can
aiming
limit
at
for
for
now.
this.
just the variance on the square footage, now I
Right,
understand,
right.
because I think we was getting it out that, yeah, it was gonna be like a conditional,
But I don't even think
Use,
I don't think we need to do a conditional,
right?
I think it will just.
Not really, I think it's gonna be all together, so no, we're just doing the variance, cause right now it's gonna be a standalone by itself, not within the
Right.
square footage that
At
you
some point in
need, but
time-
you're gonna add it on.
At
so
some
then-
point in time, it's gonna become compliant.
Right.
It's
With
just-
that, yes.
Yes.
I just think you still can't probably rent that out as an
Right,
apartment.
you can't.
You know, like, if you
Never-
ever did
never-
wanted to do that, you would have to come back
And
in
you
this, but you,
couldn't-
yeah,
Sell it as two living.
Right.
No, so
Yeah.
it'll be attached in
And
it.
that's what you
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
So, at
yes.
that point, I think we all wanna see this, or you got it?
I'm
Yeah.
good with it.
Yeah, I
Don't need
think
to
I
really
think
see
I
it.
understand, yeah.
Okay. At this point, I'll open it up for the public. If anyone wants to speak in opposition of this? I see no one. If anyone wants to speak for it? I see no one. So now, I will make a motion. I'll close the public portion of the meeting. I will accept a motion to approve with conditions, or deny this request.
With conditions.
You want with
Did you
conditions?
say with conditions or?
I don't think
Think we
we
need-
have to do that.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. You're looking for approval with conditions. We don't need conditions.
We can.
Or no, you can do either one, like someone
if
make a
you think
motion
there's
to
a
approve.
Condition that needs to be put
I
on,
do not.
we
Okay,
can approve that way, and then we can discuss what the conditions would be. If you get a second. That's kinda how that works. Or we can approve it as is, or you can make a motion to deny.
I'd like to suggest that maybe make the condition, you make it a conditional, but the condition essentially, once the house is permanent, it's just considered square feet. I mean, just, so there's no
Yeah.
question. The
or
thing,
what's, I guess, sort of, what's the time frame on the
Yeah.
house? Do you wanna say the house needs to be built by a year, or
It'll
2
be-
years,
It'll
or?
be at least 4 years.
Oh,
before we go.
I don't know if
We
you
put
went
the
through that.
condition on if it's, not built within 5 years and turned into the permanent living of the 2,900
Yeah.
square feet. If it's not brought up to above the
Above the-
code as far as square footage
Footage.
at that point in time, that he has to come back.
Maybe you have to come back and for a reason
makes
why
sense.
there should be a, yeah,
That'd be fair, yeah.
yeah,
I'm up for a motion.
there's also just a danger in that as well. I mean, 5 years.
Right.
Who knows who's gonna sit up here in 5 years? Who knows what's gonna happen in 5 years? I just hate to see them not be able to get there.
Well, that's what I'm saying, I'm thinking the other way, I don't know if they even have to come back here or not, if it becomes in compliance,
If we make
and they
it
take that out
automatic.
of service as,
right, yeah, I wouldn't
that's why I'm.
think so, that we just
I
wanna,
do too.
I guess it depends. If you want to approve it, period, and if they never built, you still have the
And
same,
it's-
so, or if you
it's-
wanna say, well, listen, we'll do it right now, because we
It's the
understand
same
that,
address.
but, yeah.
It's the same address, it's gonna be the same mailing address. When he comes in to get a building permit to make it larger, that's basically like an addition.
Right,
And it's-
that's what I'm saying, like.
So I don't think you would actually have to come back to this board.
I don't either.
No, I don't think to come back, no.
So, once again, I'm open for someone to make a motion to approve the condition, or approve or approve with conditions, or deny.
I'll just make a motion to approve.
Yeah, I'll second it.
Motion has passed. At this point, we have to go through the silly questions again. So yeah, I think at that point, he's approved to build at that address, one residence, and now, if he wants to add on to this, only thing he has to do is come get additional building permit. Ben still has to see the construction of it, but then when he's done, he's done. It's just that is not a separate living thing
Right.
anymore. Now it's all brought into
No,
one.
it's gonna go from,
I think that's the best way.
it's basically going to a bigger house.
Right, yeah, I was just, the question is whether you're okay, like, cause I think, I'm serious, I'm not trying to like, I'm just making sure though, that if we're proving it straight up, then like literally they could say, you know what, we changed our mind, we're just gonna leave it like that. You know, we're just gonna have a garage with an apartment on top of it. If you're not saying, well, we're approving it now, but we want you to eventually, you know, build a house there and we're gonna give you 5 years to do so. That's kind of just thinking, but it doesn't, I don't think it needs to come back either way. It's just that it's straight up, if you prove it like this, I think it's, you could just sit there with a $640 or 640 square foot garage, period, you know,
If that's what you want.
if that's what you wanted, yeah.
Okay. Let's start with A, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, and general welfare of the community. Mr. Runa.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
And I say yes, meets the standard. The use and value of the area adjacent to the property included in the variance will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner. Will not be. Mr. Ronow.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
And I say yes also, meets the standard. The strict application of the terms of the zoning ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property. Mr. Ronow.
Yes.
Mr. Roberts.
Yes.
And Mr. Hauser. Yes, meets standard. Okay. Now open the floor to take a vote to deny, approve as presented, or approve with stipulations. Mr. Roberts, how do you vote?
Approve, no conditions as stated.
Mr. Ronow,
Second. Approved.
and I vote to approve as presented. Your variance is passed, and we are done. They will be able to issue your building permit. And I don't think you have to come back to this board. Unless someone else says, maybe, but I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think that is it. Your application is approved as presented.
Thank you. And we'll come in the morning or sometime when it does permit.
Do we have any other business?
No, sir.
Okay. I will open the floor for a motion to close this meeting.
Make a motion that the meeting is closed.
Meeting is closed.